The first notice arrived on a Tuesday morning, slipped under my door like a threat disguised as paperwork, bold letters, legal language, a total that didn't even feel real, $250 zeros, zero in HOA violations. I read it slowly, calmly, the way you read something that's so wrong it becomes interesting. Overgrown hedges, unauthorized parking, non-compliant exterior modifications, all allegedly committed on HOA-controlled property. I smiled. Because the one thing the HOA board didn't know, couldn't imagine, really, was that every road they drove on, every lawn they fined people for, every common area they claimed authority over, belonged to me. Years earlier, long before the neighborhood became a manicured maze of identical houses and entitled rules, the land had been divided into parcels. The original developer ran out of money, banks panicked. Investors vanished, and quietly, through a series of perfectly legal purchases, Shell LLC, and patient paperwork, I bought it all, not just one lot, not a few homes, everything, streets, easements, retention ponds. The land beneath every foundation, I never announced it. I didn't need to. Ownership doesn't require applause. The HOA formed later, loud and confident, assuming authority where no one challenged them. They fined residents, they threatened liens, they loved paper trails, just not the kind that led back to me. So when the second notice came, angrier than the first, I did nothing. When the third arrived, marked final warning, I framed it and hung it in my office. Then came the knock. The HOA president stood there with two board members, clipboards clutched like shields. He launched into a rehearsed speech about compliance, penalties, and serious consequences. I let him finish. I always let people finish when they're wrong. It makes the moment cleaner. I asked one question: can you show me the deed that gives you authority over my land? They laughed. Confident people always laugh first. So I handed him mine. The smile dropped instantly, pages flipped faster, faces drained of color. One of them asked if this was some kind of joke. I told them no. This was public record, county, filed, recorded years ago. Their HOA, it existed only because I allowed it to exist. They left without another word. 3 days later, I was summoned, not to their meeting, but to court. The HOA sued me, claiming fraud, misrepresentation, and bad faith ownership. They demanded enforcement of fines, legal fees, and punitive damages. Their lawyers were expensive, aggressive, confident, so were mine. In court, I said very little. Deeds spoke louder than arguments. Maps replaced opinions. The judge asked the HOA one question they couldn't answer. On what legal basis do you claim authority over land you do not own? Silence is brutal when it's deserved. The lawsuit collapsed. Then the countersuit began. Every fine they had ever issued, every lien they threatened, every dollar collected under false authority, it added up fast. Residents were called as witnesses. Records were subpoenaed. Emails surfaced, laughing about scaring people into compliance. That didn't help them. The HOA board resigned one by one. Their legal fund evaporated. Their insurance refused coverage. The judge dissolved the HOA entirely, ruling it had no standing from the day it was formed. And then came the quiet part, the part people don't expect. I didn't evict anyone. I didn't gloat. I didn't raise rents or flex ownership. I simply replaced chaos with clarity. Residents received letters, not threats, not fines. Notices explaining the truth, that they lived on privately owned land, that no HOA existed anymore, that their homes were safe. Relief spread faster than panic ever had. The former HOA president tried to apologize. I accepted it. Calm doesn't mean cruel, but consequences still arrived. Personally, financially, permanently, the $250 zero fine, it vanished, replaced by court-ordered restitution. The people who tried to control what they never owned learned something priceless. Power borrowed without permission always comes due. I still walk those streets sometimes, quiet, unbothered, watching people enjoy their homes without fear of notices or nonsense. Ownership isn't about dominance, it's about responsibility and knowing exactly when to pull the paperwork out of the drawer. They thought they ruled the neighborhood. Turns out they were just standing on it.